Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, a hearty hump day. Good morning to you. The JP Peterson Show here as we're coming to you live from our G's Law Group studio in beautiful South Tampa. We do 2 hours of Tampa-based sports-centric talk each and every Monday through Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. Had a lot of new viewers over the last week. We love having you guys in, so please jump into comments as well on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages and let us know what you think. Be part of the show. Good morning to you, IndyCar Tim from our DSP affiliate in Dallas. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Big sports week.
Yeah, it is. The Combine is underway, so we had Todd Bowles talking yesterday, your cousin, and also Jason Light, some interesting things there to talk about. So we'll get into all things Buccaneers related to last season and this season. So very interesting comments were made. And also the Bolts with a huge win last night. I was at the Emily Arena doing my thing last night, and that was a tremendous performance by a team that is getting hot at the right time and looking very much like a playoff team last night in stifling, dominating the Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. How about that?
And Draisaitl did not have a good game.
No. They were hemmed up, and we'll get into why and what exactly what happened last night for the Lightning. Lots of Rays stuff to get to. Blissfully, it's all on the field today. We're not going to talk any stadium unless you guys want to bring something up and got any questions. We'll be happy to entertain it. But just not feeling it today. Just not feeling it today.
You don't have the energy for that today.
I just don't. It's been a long night. It's been a long night. This little virus is kicking my ass, but I'm trying to get up every morning and bring it to you folks. So I can't even drink coffee, bro. My stomach is so bad I can't even drink coffee. So
it probably wouldn't be good for your stomach anyway.
No, it's bad. So, and it can't really eat. Tried to eat last night. That didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
So, woo, lordy. Just doing my best. So we'll get into some Rays on the field, which I'm very excited about. Some funny things happening at the Combine. Rashad White getting extorted. We'll get into that. Lots of interesting things going on with the Buccaneers. So let's begin with the Lightning from last night, because you got a chance to finally watch a whole game last night, huh? You got to watch the new Lightning in action. Yeah.
The great.
You came with the lame ass. You came with the lame ass tweet. Oh, the Oilers look flat tonight. No, how about the Lightning are just good? How about the Lightning just bottled them up and didn't allow Connor McDavid or Draisaitl to get going because they owned the freaking puck for most of the game, especially the second period.
All right.
I mean, come on now.
I was not in any way dissing the Lightning with that tweet. I was just pointing out that the Oilers were allowing themselves to be dominated once again, is all I was saying. And I was half drunk when I typed that tweet out, okay? And
it's set up for a great show. I said, let's debate this when we get up in the morning. Let's do this.
There wasn't really any debate, you were right. But the Oilers have been flat since even before the Four Nations, but Connor McDavid looks like he's out of energy. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. That Four Nations just drained these guys emotionally as much as it did mentally. And it's hard now to readjust and get your body and get your mind back into, now you're in the tail end of an NHL regular season, to make that switch. So it's understandable in some aspects, but it's not affecting any of the Tampa Bay Lightning players like that. They're playing awesome.
It really hasn't. And a tip of the cap to John Cooper. He is the fact that he's never won the Jack Adams Award as the best coach is just literally the biggest oversight in sports. I dare you to find another one bigger than that. And the way he, reworked things, to get Team Canada to win that game and play the way they played. And I think the United States was a better team, but they found a way to win. And that's what he's doing with the Lightning. They're finding ways to win. They're playing like a playoff team. That defensive pressure last night the lack of time and space for McDavid. I think I saw maybe twice in the entire game where McDavid got some speed through the neutral zone and, was his patented, bullet in China shop heading for what? It's not a bullet in China shop. He's a great skater, but he's just the combination of speed and skating, like a really athletic bull in a China shop. He's just so good, but he never got going. The Lightning just would not allow them to break out of the zone. When he got into the neutral zone, he was forced into the middle of the ice where 2 or 3 guys were. He just couldn't get it going. And last night, Cooper switched up the lines a little bit and put Gergensons with Hagel and Cirelli, his 2 best defensive forwards, and that seemed to really, really work out well. McDavid only had 2 shots in the entire game, and that's incredible. The Edmonton Oilers have only scored 1 goal in one time in their last 32 games, and the Lightning held them to 1 goal last night.
Right.
And that was a power play goal. They had nothing 5-on-5. So the defensive effort last night, not just by the defensemen, but the forwards as well, was fantastic. And once you get to the goal, you're done. Vasi is back.
Did you see this stat on? It was on the ESPN broadcast, which I'm sure you didn't see if you were in the arena. So Edmonton has been outscored 10-0, 5-on-5 in the last 6 games with Connor McDavid on the ice.
How about that?
Good God.
Here's another stat for you. Last 2 games, Vasi's save percentage is .970.
Wow.
66. I'm sorry, .967. My bad. He saved 59 of 61 shots. In his last 8 games in which the Lightning have pointed, 7-0-1 with a 1.80 goals against. Is that good?
Yeah, and he almost got his 3rd assist of the season last night if Gonçalves would not have missed a freaking open net.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah, and he even did a great interview last night. Talking about the games. He was really quite loquacious for Vasi and
upbeat. I gotta look that word up. Hang on just a second. Loquacious.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a great word. It's a great word. He was great on every level last night, and this just looks like a team that is ready to play hockey. I mean, when they got that, they give up the early power play goal, and first of all, if it's not for Skinner, it's 2-0 2 minutes in. I mean, Hagel had 2 glorious chances early on in the game, and they didn't get them. But they didn't, and this is what the Lightning have been doing well in this point streak. They've won 6 in a row and pointed in 8. Is they're staying patient. And Cooper mentioned this last night. Early in the season, they're just trying to force offense and making turnovers, and then every one of them ended up in the back of their net. So now they're not doing that. They're being very patient. They're playing very conservative, and they're letting the game come to them. And it seems to happen, night in and night out. That's how they win games. They're not extending themselves. They're not making the stupid turnover at the blue line that turns into a goal. And when they play like that, they're really hard to beat. And in the 3rd period, of course, so let me back it up. So they go down 1-0. And then Mikey Eyssimont, we've been talking about depth scoring, right? They got one from Gergensons or Glendening 2 nights ago. And they win every time he scores, which is weird. So then Mikey Eyssimont in the neutral zone makes a great play, gets the turnover, and makes the steal, gets it to Gonçalves, and makes a beautiful touch pass right back to him on a give and go. And then Eyssimont does this forehand, backhand roof. Like Brian Ingbaum said last night, everybody was like, who is that? 23? Wait, what? That was Eyssimont that just did that? I thought it was
Don't expect
that was Kucherov. That was, I mean, that was a goal scorer's goal right there. I'm like, wow. And that was a huge goal. That was a huge goal because, it turns the games back and they're not chasing the game anymore and they can still stay patient. And then 29 seconds into the second period, after a nice little chance that Vasi makes a save at the top of the second, they get it to Hagel, and he makes a beautiful move around the back of the net and beats a defenseman and Skinner to the post in a beautiful wraparound. His 28th goal of the year, and a 2-1 lead. Now you're really starting to play into the Lightning.
What was Bouchard doing on that wraparound, by the way?
I don't know.
He looked like he was playing in a different game. He ignored everybody.
Yeah, like he was looking like that maybe it was going to be a pass or something, and that seemed a little a little bit of a cheapie, but we'll take it, right? We'll
Yeah.
take it. And then the Lightning get a 5-on-3, and fucking Hedman just pounds one at 93 miles an hour that hits off a stick and ends up in the back of the net. So, and they get an empty net or a late goal from Nick Paul. So, I mean, just a great, great game all around. But I just love the way they play defensively. I love their energy. And I just love the way they're playing right now. So they've got Calgary coming in on Thursday. Then they go to Washington for a 12:30 game on Saturday. I hate those games, but that's going to be a great one. Ovi got his 30th last night. He's 12 away from Gretzky. So that whole show goes down. And not to mention Washington is just the story of the year. I mean, they are it's nobody's. I don't think anybody saw this coming, and they're playing really, really good hockey. So,
I mean, when you've got a 39-year-old Ovechkin he scored 8 goals in his last 8 games, including the hat trick on Sunday. Look, and we haven't talked about this too much. At least not on the show. I never thought we were going to live in a world where Wayne Gretzky was not the greatest goal scorer of all time. It had never even crossed my mind that anyone, much less Ovechkin, would overtake him at any point of his career. But here we are. He's now, 12 away? 13 away? 12 away from breaking the record.
Can we just say this is not popular? This is not popular.
I was going to pose that question. Look, I consider myself a pretty straightforward hockey guy. I'm a historian. Look, I love it. I love Gretzky. I didn't used to when he played, but I love Gretzky. I covered him in St. Louis for a year, but I was never a fan of his. But, so do you think people don't like it because he's Russian?
Of course,
because
and he's Ovechkin. Gretzky? It's Ovechkin. All right. Not the most affable dude. Most of his career, he's gotten better.
He has gotten a lot better.
But mostly a brooding, shot hogger. Not a team player. That was his kind of reputation for most of his career. Right. And of course, when they won the cup, everything changed a little bit. He's become a little bit more likable in his old age. But no, I mean, you got to salute the dude. He is just an incredible player and has been. I mean, this number is. I thought everybody thought it was untouchable, but I did. But here we are. And we thought that the freaking Lou Gehrig's record would never be broken, right? Right. And then along comes Cal Ripken Jr. And I never looking back, I don't think I said I thought it would never be broken. I didn't think I would be into this. Like I can't wait for him to break it. Like I want to see it. I'm ready for it. And I never thought I'd say that. I thought I'd be on the other side. Like, no, man, especially a Russian Ovechkin, he can't do it. But dude, I'm into this, man. I love history. Yeah.
And now this is a record that you think probably will never be broken, right?
I don't think so. Just because you've got to play so long to do it, and the salaries are so big. I just don't know if there's going to be a want to, And I think the game is it's faster. I guess there's more scoring. I don't know. Somebody could come along and do it. I haven't really looked at the numbers.
I'm looking at them right now. There's nobody. Like Sidney Crosby is next, who's current, and he's at 6'10".
All right. Well, where's McDavid? But if you look at McDavid's age and average per year,
Stamkos at 572.
Yeah.
And then the next, Malkin. Malkin is at 508, active player.
Well, yeah, those older players, they got no chance. The only one I would think would be maybe McDavid. I'm
trying to see where McDavid is here on the list. No one entered that name in a while. Jeff Skinner at 368.
Jeff Skinner's got through. Okay.
Matt Duchene at 364. Evander Kane at 326. Braden Point 295.
Yeah, but he's pushing 30.
Yeah, and that's 632 games played. Jordan Stahl, he won't be around.
Yeah, I think McDavid's the only one that has a chance. But anyway,
so see where he's at on the list here.
The Lightning will play them, and then they got the Panthers on Monday. down in Sunrise. So,
Right.
a couple of very interesting games in terms of playoff, Eastern Conference contenders that they will see. So I'm very interested to see how they match up with Washington as we look ahead to maybe a conference finals. And obviously the Panthers are going to be there in the first or second round for the Lightning. Obviously that's been an issue. So I think these two games with the Lightning playing pretty damn good hockey right now going against these Eastern Conference contenders, they're going to be really easy. But they got to play Calgary Thursday night, who's right now sitting in the second wild card position in the Pacific. They don't score a lot, but a decent hockey team. So we'll see what happens there. But it's obviously stretch time right now, and Breezeball is going to make a move. You know that. They've been linked to a lot of different plays. Brock Besser is one they've been linked to. And a team that's, third in the league in goals, did they need scoring? Yeah, because they're so top heavy. They got to get some more depth scoring, somebody else that can score, and they can move, they can move other guys down the lines, maybe where they fit better. So I think this is not the team that we're going to see. And Brian said this, Brian Bradley said this the other day, and I asked Brian Engblom last night as well about the defense. Would you make a move on defense? And they're like, no, not with JJ Moser back. I don't think you want to mess up what they have. They're playing really well together. So I could see him adding one, maybe two forwards for the stretch run, because they, even though they're getting a little bit more depth scoring now. And don't forget about Isaac Howard. Isaac Howard could be kind of a wild card playing at Michigan State. He was leading the nation in scoring. They were ranked number 2 in the nation as of a couple of weeks ago. So he could be the Matthew Nyes like Toronto had coming out of college and really giving you some boost in the playoffs. So I think there's a lot to be said yet, a lot to be done yet for this team. But right now, I feel like, they're obviously the hottest team in hockey right now, and the way they're playing looks very playoff-esque. And then there's Vasi. This is the Vasi that won the Cups. He had a back injury. It's taken him a season and a half to get back to where he needs to be, and he's in perfect form. So I love where the Lightning are at, and I absolutely love where they're at right now.
And it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch right now.
TJ Reeves popping in this morning in the comments says, keep up the great work on Gretzky. He played 20 years, same as Ovechkin right now. Wayne also has a staggering 1,960 works. All right, I want to zip over to I was going to go to the Bucs, but we'll do that after the break because it's not as time sensitive, because we get a lot of chatter here about the Bucs or the Rays tickets. And Lonnie Wilkins jumped in here this morning. It says, Stu is price gouging the fans. These ticket prices are insane. Cheapest ticket is $60, but the average is about $150 per ticket. And I said that the prices were doubled. The average price of last year's tickets, I think, was probably closer to $50. So we're talking tripling the average ticket price.
Yeah.
And Lonnie throws this in there. Pre-sale code is burst for anyone wanting to look at Rays tickets right now. There you go. Thank you, Lonnie, for putting that out there. Appreciate you. Tampa Bay says not a lot of seats left for Rays home Saturday games, and it's only Wednesday morning. Interested to see how high these resale tickets go for. Is there any interest in tickets in Tampa? Is Tampa a good place to play? You think the stadium should be here?
You think it should be an outdoor stadium?
I mean, just crazy. Have you all kept up with the Mary Kate situation? I don't even know what that is. Mary Kate
and Ashley Olsen? Is that who we're talking about?
Right, Rudder, just taking it right off the tracks.
That's what he does.
James says the 2 weeks off for Vasi has been huge. Yeah, listen, at first I didn't want to really talk about the ticket prices because obviously it's a smaller venue. The Rays deserve to make money. Yes, absolutely they do. Yeah. Please don't ever, say this again. And I've heard it out of their mouths 50 times since they went to Steinbrenner Field. Oh, we're going to lose a significant amount of revenue. Shut up. Shut up.
It's the biggest crock I've ever heard.
Jesus. And this is what they've done their entire tenure. Is lie to the public and blame the public and take advantage of the public. That's what they've done constantly. And so when they go to Steinbrenner Field and tell everybody how much money they're going to lose and woe is us and and then you triple the prices, and you still sell it out, and you gouge the fans because, I mean, it's just, it's so on brand. It's so on brand. And now, I was talking to a former Major League player the other day. He said, I logged on to get tickets, and he's got a lot of kids, so he needs 6 tickets.
Yeah,
he said, he's like, if I want to buy season tickets for the fam, it's $80,000. And that's for not even close to the best ticket. That's one of the worst tickets. $80,000. I mean, these prices are insane. They're insane for baseball games. They're insane. And then the resale prices are going to be even more.
So JP, I had a listener hit me up on X last night, asked if I was coming out for Rangers at Tampa Bay, which is the first week of June. So I went online, and look, tickets aren't that big of a deal. If I get them now, they're like, I'm looking at it right now on SeatGeek, which is, they're not a sponsor, but that's who I always use because that's where I've always found the best prices. Looking on SeatGeek, and I can get third base line right behind the visitors' dugout for $102 a ticket. If I go down 2 sections, it's $75 a ticket.
For Rays games?
For the Rays versus the Rangers here, yeah. At Steinbrenner. If I go out to the little porch out there in right field, it's $57 for a ticket. Upper deck, you're looking
Is
anywhere.
That before fees?
Well, it's SeatGeek, so it excludes the fees, but SeatGeek doesn't have a tremendous amount of fees, so that's why I use them all the time. So if I wanted upper deck behind first base, $44 a ticket.
See, this is not what I've seen. This is not what I've seen. I mean, this is not what I've seen. I've been told. John Hill says right field terrace seats are $5,265 per seat for season tickets. So divided by 81,
That's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Outfield, $144 anywhere in the outfield, except for that little porch, whatever.
Yeah. So why? I mean, does that come with food and beverage or something? Like, these tickets, these $45 tickets, I haven't seen those at all. I'm not sure where you're getting. That's on SeatGeek.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website, SeatGeek, right now.
Huh?
Like right now, I can buy 2 of the what do they call them? The terrace, the right field terrace.
Yeah.
Seats, $57 each. That's after fees and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It cost me more to get out there, but if I can figure out a way to get out there, I'm going to the game. I'm going to at least one of that 3-game series. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday midweek game.
I would buy those right now if I were you. I would buy those right now.
Because I could probably resell them later if I want.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When is that game?
June 3rd, 4th, and 5th is that 3-game series.
Rick jumped in this morning, says the FBI concluded that Rashad White wasn't extorted. He was simply trying to get Rays season tickets. Gotcha. James says, guys, the problem is Stu knows he can get away with blaming fans. Why? TBT in their pocket. Yeah. John Romano the other day made excuses for Stu for 1 hour. Never once did he criticize how Stu handled this. Did he do a podcast or something? I don't know. I didn't hear it. I mean, how you can't, yeah. And I've heard T-Kraz say that he has respect for everybody in this process. How can you have respect for Stu Sternberg the way he's handled this process? I know, well, because they're the Rays station. I get it. And by the way, they continue to take shots at me for my reporting and all that. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. You've never broken a story in your life. Because they're entertainers, they say. They're entertainers. You could still work the story. It does. You don't need a license to work a story and have contacts and get the story. You could still do it. You just have to do the work. You have to actually put the work in. If you don't want to do that. James said, yeah, it was on a podcast. Yeah, I didn't hear it. I don't know how you can defend the way he's handled this whole situation. I mean, two separate times to Tampa and, well, actually probably more than that, 3 different mayors on St. Pete's side. All the shenanigans in the Ybor City thing that he went through made all the Raise 100 and the business people jump through hoops and kiss his ring and everything like that. And the Hillsborough County people put together a deal and all this other stuff. And and at the last minute took his ball and went home and blamed everybody else. Same game plan in St. Pete. Same exact game plan in St. Pete. St. Pete bent over backwards and gave him everything he ever wanted, and he still wouldn't do the deal and led everybody down the path. Just such a waste of time. All of us. I mean, that's just not them, and that's just in the state. So many more things, and you still have respect for Stu Sternberg. I mean, the way he's run this team, again, not personal. The way he's run this team and handled the stadium situation. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Everyone has their opinion, but I just can't share that. John Hill says load section prices are $14,175 across from the first base bag. Yeah, that I think that includes the food, beverage, and beer. I believe. Yeah, those things don't even include liquor. I mean, you get the ticket in the Chase Club, Channel Club, you get liquor. You get the liquor. You get the good stuff.
That's what I want.
Yeah. So yeah, the beer and wine just doesn't cut it. You know, if you're going to pay premium prices, you got to have liquor. I don't know why they don't do that. James says again, why hasn't MLB met with Stu? Mind-boggling. He needs to go. Oh, they've met with him. I mean, Manfred said at the winter meetings, he spent a lot of time with Stu Sternberg. And trust me, they're doing everything they can to get this sale done. MLB has no interest in Stu Sternberg continuing to own this team because all the owners want to get this stadium deal done, and they realize that it's not St. Pete's fault. He got everything. These other owners would kill for the deal that he got in St. Pete. They would kill for it. All of them. It's the biggest public payout for a stadium in history by the smallest market. And it still wasn't enough, including the real estate boondoggle as well. And it still wasn't enough. So they understand now that it's not the city's fault, Hillsborough, Tampa, nobody. It's Stu. And they want new ownership, and they want it built in Tampa. So we've talked about this, and that's where Major League Baseball is. When it gets done and how it gets done, I don't know. I just know that all the pieces are in place to get it done. We shall see. Lonnie says I caved and paid $175 for 2 behind home plate for Monday versus the Pirates. Well, I mean,
doesn't sound bad to me.
No, that doesn't sound bad. And if in the $54, $47 tickets, I mean, they're also going to do $20 tickets. If you're a part of the Tex Club, they're going to release at least 100 per game for standing room only, which is great. Right. But for the most part, yes, they're gouging. And that's to be expected, from this group. It's very on.
But at some point, if it gets too out of hand, which it sounds like it's getting there, at least for the season ticket prices, you would think Major League Baseball would step in too and go, look, we can't alienate the fans.
Yeah, I don't know where all these prices stack up from other teams. I mean, I don't know how they stack up with the Rangers and, Yankees and Dodgers obviously are going to be much more expensive. But, I would say, what are the Minnesota Twins ticket prices? They seem like something that's more on par with the Rays. The Braves, what are the Braves ticket prices? The Braves
with a relatively new stadium,
Yeah, the Braves ticket prices are really reasonable. I mean, God, for July 4th, I think we got 2 tickets for and they weren't great. They were like outfield tickets. We just wanted to roam around and see the stadium anyway. I think we got 2 tickets for like $25, and so very, very reasonable. Right. And there's the majority of tickets should be that for baseball. 81 games, that's what it should be, not premium seating, obviously.
Right.
But
your cheapest Texas Rangers season tickets are like in an outfield terrace, or in the behind home plate terrace, like below the boxes, behind home plate, about $8,000 a year per seat.
Yeah. So that's on par from the rate that's outfield. I think the Rays similar tickets are how much? You only have the per game prices there, I guess. So I don't, I think they're inflated. There's no question about that. And they're much more than they were in the Trop. And that was to be expected. It's a smaller stadium and they deserve to make money and all that. But there's a difference between, paying a little bit of a premium and gouging the fans.
Right.
If they're 50% higher, they're 25% higher, understand that because that gets them to neutral revenue. So, okay, fine. If people in Tampa, bottom line is the people in Tampa are paying the prices. They're paying the prices, and they're going to pay them, and it's going to be sold out, and that's a positive in terms of what it's going to look like, what it's like for the fans, what it's like for the players. I think the players are very much looking forward to it. And speaking of the players, Taj Bradley yesterday, 25 pitches against the Phillies, retired 7 of 8. He's working on a new slider and cutter. So now he's got 5 different pitches. And this guy's just got tremendous stuff. And he's only 23 years old. And when he harnesses that stuff, he can be a number one. His stuff is that good. First pitch yesterday was 98 miles an hour. He sits at 96 with great breaking stuff. I just hope he stays healthy because the spin that he puts on these is just insane. He's so good. And when he learns how to sequence pitches and not, his problem had always been he gives up a base hit and then he walks a guy. Now he's got 2 on and he just it kind of unravels. I mean, I've seen him pitch games where he's like, he's just cruising. The first 3 innings, he's got, he's retired 9 of 10 batters, 7 on strikeouts, and he looks absolutely dominant. And then he just has one little hiccup, and it always seems to kind of build on itself. And that's just learning your emotions, how to sequence pitching, how to make the big pitch I just think he gets a little bit rattled, and that's just maturity. It's just maturity. And when he gets to that point, man, is he going to be
And where is Bradley expected to fit in the rotation? The 5 spot?
God, who knows? It's just so good right now. I mean, and it's I'm not even sure that it matters. I mean, obviously Sugar Shane's at the top.
Right. Rasmussen, probably second.
Now Pepio, I'd say was second. And you might want to mix right left-handers. I don't know how you want to do that. But just when you're talking about, and then you got Littell, Pepio looks so good last year too. So you got Shane, you got Pepio, you got Littell, you got Taj Bradley.
Right.
Who am I forgetting? And Rasmussen. I don't know if he's going to slot in as a starter. When you got 6, if you got somebody you want to move to the bullpen, it would be him. He was a bullpen guy for a long time. But Useda shut down the side. He retired the side 3 for 3. His stuff is just fantastic coming out of the bullpen. Fairbanks pitched. He looks healthy and ready. Let's get through spring. So the bullpen looks great. But I mean, if you could add Rasmussen to the bullpen, that with that breaking stuff coming out, and you talk about Useda, Rasmussen, Fairbanks in 6th, 7th, 8th, you're going back to the old Yankees, Wetland, Mariano Rivera, Weaver. I mean, that group where it's a 6-inning game. I mean, you're just not getting anything off these guys.
Dude, that Yankees team that had Mariano Rivera as their setup guy for John Wetland.
Wetland, yeah.
Way back in the day before he became the long-term closer. That was, and then Wetland came to the Rangers, had a couple of really good years.
Yeah, but dominant. So their pitching can be so good if they stay healthy. And even though we're looking at 6 as a starter, Shane Baz, James, thanks, Shane Baz. I mean,
Shane Baz
another
was the
guy
other one,
with great stuff, just great stuff.
So McClanahan, Rasmussen, and maybe even Baz, though, they may restrict their workloads because those guys are recently injured. So
all of them, So Michael LaRue says you can get Rays at Marlins tickets in May for $7 in Miami. Oh, there you go.
Is it worth the drive though?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
What's the drive to Miami from Tampa?
4 hours. 4 hours.
Is that it? Oh, that's Dallas to Houston. Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad. It's depending on traffic. Once again, 275 going down, to Naples through Sarasota and all that can just be a disaster, and then when you get down to Miami, it's another thing. So it could be 4. It takes me 4 to 3:45 if I'm really booking and there's no traffic to get to Hollywood. And then if it's getting on 95 to go down to where that stadium is that's the problem. It's a terrible location for a stadium. So anyway, and yesterday Chandler Simpson again gets a hit. He's now 4 for 6. Gets a hit to right field, steals second, goes to third on a grounder, and then scores on a ground ball as well. I mean, dude he's electric. And I know he's only played Double-A, but when you have the second worst offense in baseball, like the Rays did last year, why not? Why not? And he's 24 years old. It's not like he's 21. He's played minor league ball. He's played 4 years of college. I don't know if he needs more for an offense that's this desperate for juice. Hell, put him at the top of the lineup. Yandy Diaz is not a leadoff guy. He's not. And you have trouble with runners in scoring position. Get him further down in the lineup where, even though he doesn't have significant power, he's got that gap power, and he'll get a lot of RBIs, get guys on base. Let Simpson create havoc, distract the starting pitcher, and get on the base pass and start getting more fastballs for your hitters and Bilal and J-Lo. I mean, let's go. That guy, I don't understand why the leadoff hitter has just disappeared from baseball. The contact speed guy, the Vince Colemans, the Ricky Hendersons, those guys who were just, great teams seem to me always used to have great leadoff hitters.
Well, I think part of it's because the stolen base went away for a long time. You wanted those speedy guys to that's all you want your leadoff guy to do is to get on base, right? Doesn't have to be a power hitter. He needs to get on base because then his speed can get more bases, right? He can steal second. But then teams quit stealing bases for a long time. Yeah. So it kind of went away with that, but I think that's coming back a little bit. I think teams are getting back into stealing bases, and that's going to bring your prototypical leadoff guy back into baseball, especially with some of the rules changes that they've done.
Yeah, I love it. And I say, I'd start him. I'd put him. I'd make, like he said the other day, I'm going to make him, send me down. I'm going to make that decision really, really hard, and he's doing a hell of a job. At this point, I don't see how it hurts you. I don't. You
can't.
What do you want? You want to keep Christopher Morel? I mean, come on. I don't get it. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hit the Bucs hard. Jason Licht, Todd Bowles spoke at Media Day yesterday at the Combine. We got lots of sound to get to you. The Rashad White extortion story, we got that. Chris Godwin, what's going on with him? All kinds of stuff coming out of the Combine, and we got to do the story. Have you seen the Jaguars' new GM?
No, I'm not. Oh, no.
I saw the press conference. I was like, really?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Can't wait.
It's an interesting story. It's a very interesting story. So we'll do that as well. Lots more coming your way. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. If you've been in an accident, you want to go with someone local. They're local, they're trusted, and they get results. Don't just become a number of some national firm. Come to the Jeeves Law Group, where they will fight for your rights vigorously. JEEVESLawgroup.com. Back in 3. Non-attorneys. Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted #3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStreams.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Make sure you do your insurance checkup and get that homeowner's insurance checked up on. Make sure you have enough insurance. 40% of you are underinsured. So many people found out after the hurricanes when they went to get their house rebuilt, they didn't have enough insurance. And that's a problem, obviously. So don't let that happen to you. Make sure Italiano Insurance will get you the lowest rate and make sure you are fully covered. Also, business insurance, auto insurance, let them check it all out. 813-877-7799.
JP,
right.
before we get into Bucs
Yes, sir.
and stuff, I wanted to pay tribute to somebody this morning here.
Oh, yeah, we forgot about that. Yeah.
As we had, today is the 13th anniversary of one of the greatest sports quotes in the history of mankind by one of the greatest athletes of our generation, JP, in Pro Bowler, and I don't mean football Pro Bowler, I mean Pro Bowler, Pete Weber. Pro Bowling Hall of Fame, Pete Weber.
The great Pete Weber.
The great Pete Weber. If anybody follows bowling, he is one of the biggest personalities in the sport, of any sport, anywhere. Big fan of his. Got really drunk with him at a Bennigan's here in Dallas a long time ago.
Nice.
How long ago that it was. We still had Bennigan's around. So I wanted to play this video clip because he gave us one of the greatest sports quotes in the history of all sports here. After the shot.
Oh, yeah, the glasses.
To claim it, a strike to claim it, and
right here. Who do you think you are? I am.
Who do you think you are? I am? What does that even mean?
Nobody knows. But it's the greatest sports quote I've ever heard. Who do you think you are? I am.
Sounds like he was still drunk.
He was always drunk, man.
Was he drunk when he was bowling?
Probably. Is it everyone? That's the only way to bowl, right?
But I didn't think pro bowl. Did he have like a full beer like sitting there on the hand dryer? Like
just shotgunning beers in between his bowls.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Else?
I was watching that live on ABC.
Who was that?
I heard that.
Whose voice was that?
I don't remember who it was. Yeah, probably another ex-bowler.
Yeah.
But, dude, I heard that. Who do you think you are? I am. And I've never forgotten it.
Gary Thorne, yeah.
Yeah, probably was Gary Thorne, yeah.
He just worked with Bill Clement. Yeah, Gary Thorne. Yeah, the great
we
Gary
tried to
Thorne.
bury them a while back.
She's not dead. We checked.
No, neither one of them. At least they weren't then. But, dude, I've never forgotten that. I used to have that on our board over at the ticket and over here at the fan, and I would play that all the time.
What do you think you are? I am. Huh?
What? All right.
Okay.
And I went around saying that for a long time. I walk into a bar and I just scream that, and everybody would just look at me like, what?
It's pretty bizarre. Absolutely. All right, let's get into Bucs yesterday, and topic A is Chris Godwin. Mm-hmm. We've said this many times. Chris Godwin, I don't think is going anywhere. But yesterday was a little interesting. Do you have a light quote here from about Chris Godwin?
I do. Let me find it. I tried to label them carefully, but that doesn't mean I can see them. All right.
More flexibility as it pertains to him. And, we just got to make a good decision. But we hopefully can come to a agreement with him, because Chris means the world to this organization, to all of us individually, but as an organization as a whole. I mean, nobody has been more resilient than him. We've been down this road before, a similar path with him. So nobody's been more resilient and works harder than him. So those are the good things. And you know what? If I were a bet man, I would bet on Chris. But you know, still the facts are we have to weigh through some variables here.
Yeah, and he's not wrong. I mean, there are variables all up and down the roster and in the business side of it with the money. You know, again, we've discussed you got now Mike Evans entering the final year of his 2-year deal he signed last offseason, and you got to start thinking about that. Godwin's going to be making more money than Evans with his new deal. You got to think about that, and you have other guys up and down the roster. I think they have 23 potential free agents going into it, and while Godwin's a big piece of it, he's not the only piece, and you got to make good decisions here.
Well, here's the deal with Chris. In my opinion, you got a significant injury, which never should happen. I'm always going to have that disclaimer out there. You know that
they were trying to win the game.
Yeah, we were down 3 scores, minute 30 left. So I don't think it was 3, but whatever.
It wasn't. It was 10. It was
10
points.
It was 6 minutes left. They were down 3 scores and had not stopped them all game. You were never going to stop them.
I know.
It's horrible. Anyway, I digress. But so you got a significant injury, and from what we've heard, you know, he's not even doing football stuff yet. And you know, obviously they have time. And September's a long way away. I get it, but it's not that long away.
Right.
So and it's a dislocated ankle, so it's a significant injury, and I think it's telling that they moved this deadline date back basically a month to get more information on this injury.
Right.
So, and that's an issue. It's an issue, and here's what complicates this thing is he's listed as the 3rd best free agent on the market in many lists.
Overall, not receiver. Overall.
Right. Yeah. The receiver market is very tenuous. You know, we'll see what happens with T. Higgins, but the receiver market from a free agent standpoint is not big. So, and there's lots of teams with the cap going up that have lots of money to go spend. So now we've said this before. Chris Godwin is not a money guy. He's not a money guy. He's not the guy that's going to take, you know, $5 million more over 3 years and leave Tampa Bay. It's not happening.
Right.
But there are teams out there that are flush with cash that need receivers like the Patriots. And I could see them, especially a team that needs a culture builder like Chris Godwin. That would be, he's very valuable in many ways. Obviously, he was leading the league in receiving when he got hurt. He's a tremendous blocker. He's a physical guy. He's best combat catcher in the league, or one of them, in my opinion. Is clutch on 3rd downs. He's just so good at everything. He's a great
route runner.
He's a fantastic route runner, but he's 29 years old.
Yep.
This is his 2nd significant lower body injury. So what is the market for him? The market is big. There are a lot of takers out there. What is the money? Well, if he were completely healthy and you had a great feeling that he was healthy, I'm going to say with the increase in prices, 23, 24 over a 3-year period. Okay. Now, if you could tell Jason Light in the crystal ball, he's going to be healthy for 3 years, he wouldn't
no-brainer
at that number, would not bat an eye at that number, not even, and maybe even further if he was assured that, but there's no assurances, and he's getting older. Now, Chris is, as he said, the tireless worker. Nobody's going to work harder to get back. None of that stuff. And he's devoted to Tampa Bay. His home is here. He wants to be here. Now, that said, somebody comes at him with, a 26, 27 AAV and, with a lot more guaranteed money, you got to look at it. You got to look at it. Now, in the Bucs, I think, and Jason said this later on, he said, look, if you go out and overspend for a guy, and I think this works for the Myles Garrett thing as well, you give up a lot of assets. You go out and you overextend on a contract. All those things. Those are the things that take you out of your window. Those are the things, if they don't work out, you're stuck being the Cleveland Browns owing, $120 million in dead cap money. You can't run a team like that. Your window is closed for quite some time. So I think Jason Light is very cognizant of the fact that they're not going to overextend. And when you look at what they did with Mike Evans, you know, they held to the number. They held to the number. Mike was offered more money by Houston and other places, but eventually he settled here. And I think they want to do the same thing with Godwin, but I think a lot of it's going to come down to some clarity on this injury. And I'm a little worried about that, quite frankly. The extension tells me that maybe it's not going as well as they thought it would, because none of these things are cut and dried.
Right.
Look at an ankle. I mean, there's probably a significant ligament damage to that ankle. When you dislocate it and you stretch those ligaments and tendons, it's a significant injury, and they don't always bounce back like you think they're going to bounce back. And how does that affect his overall play? Is he going to be the same guy? It took him about a year and a half to get back from those 3 knee ligaments that he took. Though he played a whole year, probably about 75%. And then we saw the real Chris Godwin last year.
Right.
So where I once thought this was pretty much going to be an easy, kind of 20 million a year for 3 years, not break the bank type deal. I think this might get a little sticky.
It could
get a little sticky.
I think he's going to have more. He's going to draw more interest than we originally thought.
Well, there could be a team out there that says, you know what? I don't care about the injury. We're going to pay you like an elite receiver and offer him 27, 28 million a year. So now the difference in offers is what? Could be 20, 30 million dollars over the life of the contract. Hometown discounts are nice. That's a lot of money. So, and I don't think that's beyond the pale, to be quite honest, because I think people think so highly of Chris Godwin.
There is one specific team that comes to mind who is desperately trying to find a number 2/1B wide receiver in the league right now. And they're looking for one around the $25 million a year range. That is the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
they have no CeeDee Lamb's making 34 a year.
Yeah.
And they have nobody behind CeeDee Lamb. We saw it last year.
Yep.
Vontae Turpin's a great kick returner, but he's not going to be a number 2 receiver. He's a great number 4 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry Jones is known to go after guys with injury histories.
So, that's true.
Just watch out. He might drive that price up on Light.
Yeah. That's interesting. And there's going to be suitors out there for him. So, eventually I think it's going to land in the Bucs' favor. I think he'll stay, but I don't, it would not shock me if somebody threw a ton of money at Chris Godwin and he had to walk. It wouldn't shock, because I don't think the Bucs are going to overextend for him. I think they'll pay him 20 million, maybe stretch to 22. I don't know what the guaranteed money's going to be, because if he comes out and he can't play at the level, and then you're stuck with another, $45-50 million of guaranteed money for 2 more years. That's how you screw up your, that's as much as we love Chris Godwin, when you can go, take a receiver in the second round that, and plus you got obviously Jalen McMillan, who's emerging. So, listen, there's nobody that loves Chris Godwin more than me. I've been a huge proponent of him. I've called him our best receiver since he got here, and that's with all deference to Mike. I think Chris has always been a more all around guy. They're both fantastic, and I don't want to pick between one or another, but if and don't make me, but I just think Chris he does a little bit more, but Mike is asked to do what he does. They're both fantastic. Yeah. But Chris, to me, has always been, and they've been the best tandem in the league, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see. So
the only thing I implore of you, JP, if you do nothing else, if you don't listen to any words I say for the rest of our existence on your show and elsewhere, do not say he ain't effing leaving. Don't say those words about Chris Godwin, because those words carry a bad juju right now.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
Just don't say that.
Had to bring that up, didn't you?
You can say he's not going anywhere. You can say, I don't think he's leaving the Bucs. Just don't say those words.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I'm going to call Peter Strager and have him come on and make sure you don't use those words again.
Well, he didn't go to the Jets, Peter. So there you go.
That's darn right.
Yeah. I never figured that any owner would offer Liam Coen $60 million guaranteed.
You underestimated the stupidity of Shad Khan.
I did. Because he told me he wasn't having leaving.
Exactly.
You got any more from Jason Light?
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. You got any more from Jason later?
Yeah. You want to hear Jason Light on Liam Coen?
I do indeed.
Let's go there.
They want to go back in the past there. It's over. Yeah. I'll say that we have a lot of respect for Liam. He was a great coach, and he's happy for him and his family, and it's a great opportunity for him.
Would you guys? Is there anything in terms of like joint practices again with the Jaguars or Miami or any of those?
Well, everything's kind of on the table now. We'll have to see how the schedule comes out, but I mean, that wouldn't be a factor.
Yeah. Of course.
It's time heals.
Yeah.
Time heals. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He sounds a little bitter.
Oh, he's bitter.
He sounds quite bitter.
He's bitter, man. He's bitter.
You can just tell by his facial expressions. He's kind of just like, wish him the best. It's a good opportunity for him. Yeah, dude, that did not go well. That did not end.
Time
well.
Heals, which is what. Remember, that's what Liam said. Yeah. By the way, courtesy of Rick Stroud there. That piece.
Yep.
Times. Yeah. Listen, I said it when the whole thing went down. Jason Light did not plan on losing Liam Coen, and he thought he had an airtight plan to keep Liam Coen,
and he probably did.
Yeah. And there are people within the Buccaneers organization, powerful people, that probably wanted Liam Coen to be the head coach. I don't think that's a secret. So, it didn't, and I think Jason Light thought that he would always have the last chance to counter and didn't get a chance to counter. This is just my opinion. And he felt like Liam was disingenuous in that and they never gave him a chance. And that's why Liam got the money he got, because Shad Khan decided that he's not going to let him leave the building. And his agent basically said, Liam's agent said, well, then pay me Ben Johnson money, and never thought they'd get it. And he said, yes. He said, yes. So he paid a 1-year coordinator $13 million a year, $12 million a year guaranteed. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's unprecedented. It's crazy. Jason Light never predicted that would happen. I never thought that would ever happen. They were going to make him the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league. And I think Jason felt like he had a great plan. He said, let's go offer him $4.5 million, but you can't take a second interview, because he didn't want to allow Shad Khan to have we're not letting him out of the building meeting.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it. And he lied about it. And that's why he's pissed. And I understand why he's pissed. But that's the business. That's the business.
Lessons learned.
It's unpredictable. You want to keep a guy, you're going to have to pay him what somebody else is willing to pay him.
And, Jason Light may have been basing some of predicting some of what was going to happen based on what happened between him and Dave Canales last year.
Yeah.
And that went so smooth. Now, they didn't try to keep Canales nearly as hard as they were trying to keep Coen.
Right.
But he may have been basing some of this on how that went with Canales. And he probably could have kept Canales if he wanted to. Maybe he had that conversation with Dave Canales. Hey, if you decide you don't want to be the head coach there, we'd love to have you back here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We'll pay you. We'll up your salary to this. And Dave ultimately decided, you know what, I think I'll take the head coaching job.
Yeah.
And everything was smooth, and they're on good terms now. That's not what happened with Coen.
Yeah, it's a totally different situation.
Yep.
Totally different situation on many levels.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. And so now Josh Grizzard is your offensive coordinator. And do we have a clip on that from Jason talking about Grizzard?
We do.
Okay. Wow. All right. Nice.
Right here.
Well, we wanted to hire somebody from Lizard Lick, North Carolina. I didn't get the bill. No, I'm kidding. Josh did a fantastic job all year. Everybody in the building saw how smart he is. Follows the same things I just said about Liam. Just easy to get along with the players. In front of the room, he was fantastic. He's, they call him the Wizard. A lot of players have mentioned that. I'm just very excited to get to see Josh in that role. I know he's excited to get going, and it's going to bring some fresh ideas, and which is always good.
Jason, based on how great the offense was last season, top 3 in every important category, how important was it to have Josh here last season to continue with that continuity and already knowing the players and the staff?
Sounds like Matt Matera from Peter Report.
It's important to have the entire, as many of the offensive staff as we could. As great of a coach Liam is, and we all have a lot of respect for him. He was one part of it, and there's a lot of other parts, including players and coaches, and to have that core group with our offensive line coaches, our tight ends coach, our receivers coach, I could go on and on. Jordan Somerville, Jeff Castle, we added some other people to our staff too that we're excited about. So we felt continuity was very important, especially for the players. That's what they were very excited about once the hire was made.
There you go.
Yeah, and I think that's important to note. Liam Coen did a great job. You know who did a really great job? Baker Mayfield. Yeah. Baker Mayfield did a great job at the line of scrimmage. Baker Mayfield did a great job pulling the trigger on third down. Grizzard did a great job coming up with the third down plan. I'm not going to diminish what Liam Coen did because that makes me a hypocrite. We talked about how great he did all year long, and he did a great job. But just because he's leaving doesn't mean the offense suddenly falls apart. But
no,
listen,
Baker made Canales look good 2 seasons ago, and now Baker made Coen look good enough to get a head coaching job for $13 million a year. Not to take away from what Liam Coen did for Baker Mayfield either. It's a two-way street. But and we'll see now how Baker can help Josh Grizzard look like a really good offensive coordinator.
Right. And you want to ask me, would I rather lose Baker Mayfield or Liam Coen?
No brainer.
It's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield put up huge numbers last year. Huge numbers.
Career numbers for the second year in a row.
And he was the best on third down. The Bucs were the best on third down. I think what Liam did more than anything for Baker was to give him a running game. Yeah. And, brought in Carberry, who's still here, and Pacucci, who's still here. So that running game remains. And now you have a guy who knows the offense, and Baker Mayfield was making a lot of the checks on third down at the line anyway. So, yeah, this offense doesn't fall off the map because Liam Coen is gone. It's going to be a really good offense. Will it be, fourth in the league in scoring? I don't know. And the difference is it going to be in those key play calls at key times. But Liam wasn't always great, right? There weren't, but nobody's going to be perfect. You look at the overall things that he did, and he was fantastic. No question about it. But the offense is a lot more than just him. And so now Josh Grizzard comes in. How does he sequence plays? Obviously, he's learning on the fly. I think there's going to be a little bit of growing pains. But I think the most important thing, and this is what Light really talked about, was the continuity. And that's the key. Same playbook, same people, same everything.
Same terminology. That's huge.
Yeah. So the only thing that changes is the guy calling the plays. It's significant. Not going to say it's not. But he's got some fresh ideas. Could it be better? Well, yeah, it's fourth. Could be first. And I think they got a chance to be tremendously explosive. And I think they can get better this year because, Baker in year 3, all the key players coming back for the most part, except Godwin. But I anticipate he will be back. I still think it's a better chance than not.
He ain't listen, leaving.
You said that.
I can say it.
You can say it. But
we got Todd Bowles on Liam Coen.
All right.
If you'd like to hear what the future ex-head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Getting them as high.
Todd, now that the dust has settled on Liam going to Jacksonville, what do you think will make him successful as a head coach?
Well, if he's got the good staff around him, Liam's a bright guy. He understands football very well. He's hired a bright staff around him. Just doing what he's been doing, just expanding his knowledge to the whole building instead of the offensive side, I think it'll be fine. Say that again?
Casey Rogers.
Oh, they're getting a heck of a coach. He understands football inside out. Me and Casey's been together for 15 plus years now, and he's like a brother to me. Understands the game very well. Dan's been with us in Dallas and Miami, so they know each other already, so he should be fine there. They're going to get a very smart coach, a very tough coach, a very disciplined coach.
Todd, can you talk about...
besides players getting healthy,
I think that's it.
That's it. Who's that courtesy of? Where did we get that? I think that was Rick Ballou with the first question in Jacksonville. Sounded like our
yeah, that was Rick. I believe this was from Pewter Report. I think this was from Scott.
I always want to give credit.
Yeah, and they were all from different places, so it's hard to keep up with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, Liam will do a fine job. He'll do a fine job. There's no, all this vitriol, it was more, I think, fan involved. Players and coaches don't care, in the end. I think Jason still got a little bit of a red ass because he wanted to keep him. He wanted to keep him, and he thought it was crucial. And it just didn't happen. Did he get outsmarted? Did he get outplayed? I don't know. I just, let's see how it works out. I think Shad Khan ridiculously overspent for an unproven head coach, but he's got to make a Hail Mary. He's done a lot of stuff wrong. So we'll see how it works out for them. But for me, I'm just more dialed into what's going on with the Bucs.
We've got Todd Bowles, JP, on what kind of player he's looking for on defense for the upcoming season.
Okay, let's hear that.
Me, I want ball hawks, and whether that's
ball hawks,
a down guy, a defensive lineman, whether he bats balls down or gets strip sacks, whether that's an outside linebacker that does it, whether that's a backer that can punch the ball out or get turnovers, whether that's a safety that can hit and draw the ball loose or get turnovers, whether that's a corner that has a nose for the ball. We need ball hawks, we need turnovers, we need guys that are very astute in the game and can see things and go make plays and go get them. And that's probably what I'm looking for.
That is courtesy Pewter Report right there.
Well, thank you for that. He also said, I don't know if he had this one, but JTS did everything but sack the quarterback. Yeah, that got quite the fan reaction.
The only other Todd Bowles I have here, and we'll finish up with the video and the Bucs, is what he saw last season and what he learned from some specific players.
Okay.
From last season. This is also courtesy Pewter Report.
Where do you how do you put the period on last year, and what can that do to springboard you guys?
So we found out about a lot of players. I thought Merriweather came back and did a heck of a job. I thought Izzy carried us probably the part of the season, halfway through the season when he was healthy. I thought J-Mac McMillan came on late in the season from a rookie standpoint. We had a lot of young guys stand up, so that was encouraging. We got to find a way not to have all the injuries that we've had and figure out a different way to do things, possibly practice or do other things or how to coach it a little differently. But overall, I thought the competition part of it was great. The games we lost, we were in, with the exception of probably the Denver game. I thought we were in every other ball game we had a chance to win, so we got to figure out how to close those games out, so that was a positive. It's never going to end the way you want it unless you win the Super Bowl, but overall, considering the guys that were down, I think us playing with 6-7 safeties at certain points and different guys, and the big thing when Luke was down and Schooley had to step in, that was huge. Nobody really talked about Luke being down for a few weeks, but I thought those guys got some experience and really helped us in the end and develop some depth. So going into this year, it's something hopefully we can build on.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of that's on him, a lot of that is on him and, the way he manages games for me. And I thought this was an interesting quote from Jason Light, and this was in Rick Stroud's article in the Times. He said about Bowles improving his clock management. He said he's very transparent about wanting to improve on those things. Said, I remember when I was working for the Eagles back in 04, 05, 06, 07, the same criticism was on Andy Reid, and he's one of the best coaches of all time. The good ones adjust, and the good ones know how to improve themselves, and I think Todd is looking to do that. So I think that's pretty candid and pretty transparent.
Yeah.
On where and let me just say this, because we talk about this a lot. Managing games, to his point, takes time, and it's not easy. I mean, we could sit here now. I will say I think there's some very elementary things that he does wrong. You can just look at the Washington playoff game in terms of clock management. I think, but there's a lot going on, and when you're a play caller, you got to worry about, what are you calling next? What is the clock situation? How many timeouts do you have? So you're managing the game and what you're calling. Are you calling a kind of a softer defense that's going to take more time for them to go down the field? Are you going to be more aggressive to either get the ball out of their hands or give up a score? Are you what? So it's not just managing the clock. There's not like some sheet that you have here that says timeout now. There's so much that goes into it, and the great ones do it well, and it takes time to get there. But this is what year 8 for Todd as a head coach, year 8 or 9, including his time with the Jets. His record in 1-score games is atrocious, and last year in 7-point games he was 2-6. And it's the difference. It's the difference in going deep in the playoffs, getting a better seeding. It's a huge, huge difference. So, yeah, Todd has got to improve in how he manages this. And, that remains to be seen. I think he does a lot of things really well, but it's a glaring weakness. And it's probably the most important thing that a coach does.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no. And you're absolutely right, because there's a number of areas that the defense needs to improve on. And we've outlined the majority of them here on this show, going back into when the regular season was still going on. And, while Bowles made improvements, I think towards the end of last year with the defense, I still think there's some glaring holes with players, his personnel. There's some personnel decisions he's made that I question greatly. Yeah. And then there's some obviously the game management issues are there as a head coach. To me, those are two different things. Are you a good defensive coordinator or are you a good head coach? They're not they are mutually exclusive. Like, you don't have to be a good head coach to be a good defensive coordinator. And I don't think anybody doubts. Well, I know maybe now. Maybe people are also doubting his ability to be a great defensive coordinator. But I think he's been distracted by the whole head coaching thing, and it's taken away from his ability to run the defense effectively.
I agree.
So there's just and a lot of it's going to be personnel going into the season. The question, Jordan Whitehead, they've got an option on his second year of his contract. Or if
they're not picking that up.
Yeah, if they don't pick it up, which they won't, he's on the free agent list. And you've got some important pieces on the defense that are, pending free agents, KJ Britt. I know a lot of people weren't happy with KJ Britt's performance, but Levante David's a free agent.
Fine, better.
Mike Edwards, the list, Ryan Neal, who, whatever you think about Ryan Neal, he played an important part on the defense last year, I think. Anthony Nelson.
Ryan Neal?
What do you do with these guys?
Oh, my God. No way. Listen, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side, and we'll go through that list, and I'll toss them all out in the trash. I'm sorry. That's disrespectful.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I apologize. All right. We're brought to you by Third Generation Plumbing. If you're having issues recovering from the storm, your contractor screwed something up, they do AC, they do plumbing, they do all different types of things that they can do around your house. So whatever your issue is, go with an honest broker, an honest group of guys that have been doing this since 1995. John Rodriguez is the owner over there. His family's been in Tampa for over a century. If it's not done right, he will take care of it, right? That's what you want. No upselling for the AC guys, none of that stuff. You'll get an honest job at an honest price. That's thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Back in 3. Stay with us. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey guys, February's birthstone is amethyst, a stunning purple gem that symbolizes peace, protection, tranquility, and sincerity. Celebrate her birthday or your 6th and 17th wedding anniversaries with an unforgettable amethyst gift. And of course, for over 40 years, the Golden Diamond Source has been Tampa Bay's most trusted name in fine jewelry. We only sell natural diamonds. If it's real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't get a fake. The Golden Diamond Source First Time Buyer Program will help you learn about the 4 C's, what's style, shape, and color works best for you and your unique style. Folks, it's the best customer service. They make it so easy for you, and they're not going to push you into something that you cannot afford. 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Also, you can turn your old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up. So get that old jewelry and bring it on in. You know where, the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on Fan.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. If you're looking to pop the question this spring's always a nice time for that. It's beautiful outside. Things are blossoming like love in the air, right? That's when you pop the question, right? Springtime.
JP, I got bad news for you. Love's a myth. It's not real.
It's not good for the live read. When you love someone, you want to give them a real diamond, not a fake diamond. And despite the pessimism from my friend and his bitterness towards relationships and his 17 failed marriages, you can have a great marriage given if you do the right thing and buy a real diamond for the first time. All right. So don't screw this up. Go to the Golden Diamond Source where you know what you're getting. That have been in business for over 40 years. Julie and Steve Weintraub, the best in the business. They're a local company. We love the local companies here. So keep it local. Go see the great folks over there. It's an easy buying experience. Nick went through it. I went through it. They're a great staff. They get you something that's going to fit your budget. It's the Gold and Diamond Source, a real diamond. And you can finance it too. 0% interest over 5 years. 3800 Omerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Don't listen to that bitter man.
Hey, is Nick still married?
Yes, he's
I guess you won that bet then.
You're so pessimistic.
And look, just because love doesn't exist, there's other reasons to go buy rings for someone and buy jewelry for someone. I'm not saying that. Just,
Love does exist. Love does exist.
My life has proven otherwise.
Well, maybe that's your fault.
It probably is.
Me and Ashley, we good. Lots of love.
Tell Ashley when I come out there for the Valspar, she needs to hook me up with some friends. My dating age is 23 to 32. I prefer redheads. Look, blondes and brunettes are great too. I'm not excluding any of the demographics.
And I refer you to Tinder. Please, just
those are all bots.
Ashley's, she won't be in the market for that. Sorry.
I need a wingman when I come to Tampa. Who wants to be my wingman when I come to Tampa?
Well, there you go. Let's put that out there. There you go. Yeah. All right. So you want to go through the free agents? Mike Edwards, no, thank you. Bye-bye. Ryan Neal.
Eric, no. Look, let's go defense first, because I think that's what needs the most help. All right. Eric Banks.
No.
Does anybody care?
No.
Shaquille Barrett. You want Shaq
Barrett?
He
ever played. Who the hell is Eric Banks? I never heard of him.
No, he never played.
I'm
just going through everybody.
God, I forgot Shaq was even on the team.
Right.
I didn't see a whole lot there, from Shaq Barrett. I don't know.
I might have some music for free agents.
I don't know if he was ready to come back. But nah, I don't. I think they need to get younger. They need to get athletic. Now I'm for them going and getting a veteran, maybe not Myles Garrett, and giving up that type of, and I don't think the Bucs are in that market.
No.
Somebody's going to overpay for him and give up tons of assets and do something desperate. That's not what the Bucs do. So they'll go for someone in the Shaq Barrett race, like then when they went out and found Shaq Barrett, hanging out behind.
How about KJ Britt?
I think KJ Britt is serviceable. I think he's he's a really good he's a good thumper, obviously in the run game. But he's a backup. He's a backup guy. So, I would like to see Levante David and Servassier Dennis starting at the inside linebackers. But I think you got to go. I wouldn't be against going and finding see if you can find a Zach Bond or going after a Zach Bond. Going after a 27, 28-year-old guy that's got some chops, is a good player and a good leader, and can step right in. You got Servassier Dennis, who I think is going to be good, but he's got to prove he can stay on the field. So they've got some things to work with there, but they've got to address it, I think, in free agency and in the draft, and get another young guy.
Levante David.
It's up to him. He played at a very high level last year, not epic Levante David, but no. I think, there's a place for him if he wants to play. I don't see how you say no. He's, we've seen guys play in the side linebacker up into their mid-30s. He's in great shape. He didn't miss much time last year. I wouldn't overpay for him, but I would certainly want him back. Absolutely.
Safety Mike Edwards.
Didn't show much, but I think he's got some value as a backup. I would keep him. I would definitely keep him. He's not going to cost a lot. He's a good role player. He's had some moments where he could take the ball away. You need to see more of that. With a pass rush, maybe he makes more plays, but yeah.
How about on the defensive line, Greg Gaines and Will Golston?
Love Greg Gaines. I think he brings some value. He's a plugger. Good rotational guy at the right price. You want to keep guys like that around. He made some plays, smart guy, knows the defense. I think he's got some worth as a backup. Absolutely.
Yeah. And those guys won't be expensive guys either. Those are easy decisions.
Golston's been around forever. He's just a big lug that just gets the job done against the run. He's just always there. He's dependable. He's like your favorite pair of shoes. He's just that guy. If the number's right, he still wants to play. And I think he seemed to taper off a little bit. He's just going to be someone who's there. If you can't find somebody better, younger, then yeah, but not a priority. Great dude though. Great.
Cornerbacks Bryce Hall and Troy Hill.
Bryce Hall, love to see what he's got, man. They've got nothing out of him last year. They had high hopes for him. Troy, I think, is a little long in the tooth. I think you got to draft a corner and sign a corner. So, but Bryce Hall, yeah, definitely want to see what he can do.
And you said you're not high on bringing back safety Ryan Neal. And here's my deal. I have the same deal with Ryan Neal as I have with a lot of these other guys on defense. I would really like to see what they could do, not with Todd Bowles' thumb sticking him in the ground. Like I'd like to see what they could do with some actual coaching. I think in front of him, because I think Ryan Neal's got something, but he's shown absolutely nothing.
No, he's
and I'd like to think that I'm not wrong.
He's not a player. He's not. I don't think he thinks the game very well. I don't think he can handle this complex defense. He's a linebacker in a safety's position.
Right.
I don't see any upside. He's a desperate play. If you're running out of safeties, you go get Ryan Neal, and I think that's what they did last year. I'm moving on from him. Absolutely. Tyke Smith, it'd be interesting if they move Tyke Smith to play next to Antoine Winfield. He played well in the slot. He's a good cover guy. I mean, but defense has kind of become positionless, especially in Bowles defense. Everybody has a different, role on every different play. There's different packages. It's kind of positionless now. Yeah. So I just think, Tyke Smith's going to play a lot, and so is Antoine Winfield. But I think you draft a safety for sure.
Maybe that's part of the problem with the defense. Is nobody's got defined roles when they don't know what to do.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. No, I don't think Bowles' scheme is as creative and as I think people have caught up to it. They understand it, and I think he spends more time putting guys in roles they're not good at. They like having Yaya Diaby drop 17% of his I think it was 17% of his snaps he's dropping into coverage. He's not a coverage guy. And we do this with a lot of our outside linebackers. And I think we should get more. And part of the reason our edge guys don't have as numbers is they don't They're not asked to do typically what these great edge rushers do. Now, you go get a great edge rusher. If they were to work something for Trey Henderson, you got him dropping into coverage 17% of the time, you got a problem. That's just not
you're
smart.
using him wrong.
Yeah, you're not. It's not smart. So, and I don't, necessarily think you would, but they did that with Diaby. Why are you doing that? Let him rush the passer. Now, I'm over a lot of the scheme that Todd runs. I don't think it's good. I think it's dated. I think it's too complicated. There's too many miscommunications in the back end, and it's just you're 29th in pass defense. How can I know he's had a good run, and there's been some his defenses have been great. Last couple of years has not been great. It's not been great. It needs to get a hell of a lot better, and I don't think it's just personnel. And
finally, outside linebackers, JTS and Anthony Nelson. Major Nelson.
Well, JTS is going to be a free agent, obviously. And yesterday, Todd, said that on the podium, and it got a lot of ridicule. He did everything well but rushed the passer. Well,
what's your job?
That's why you drafted him. Now, I understand he said he was a chess piece. And I put this on Twitter. They drafted him as a bishop, and he played like a pawn.
Yeah.
And chess pieces, you want to do different things, but again, you're not getting the best out of the guy. He never developed moves. He never showed me anything that would approach being a tactical pass rusher where you have a variety of moves and counter moves. He just never showed anything. So to me, it was a bad draft pick. We knew that when we counted up the shirtless photos on draft day on his Instagram. That's just never going to work well for me.
Draft a guy with shirtless photos on Instagram.
No, not if you want him to be a defensive lineman or an edge rusher. No, thank you. Just not going to work out in the long run. We were right. So it's not. No. So you got it. To me, you got to draft one. If there's some way they can find out, get Mike Green from Marshall, that's a huge home run. Draft one and go out and get a free agent.
Moving to the offensive side of the ball, we talked about Whitehead. He's probably not coming back, right?
No. He's got a cracked vertebrae. He wasn't good when he was healthy. It's $4.5 million. You can save on the cap. He played well at one time, but I think that time has passed.
On the offensive side of the ball, the biggest name other than, well, not the biggest name, but one of the big names, we've talked about Godwin at length here. On the offensive line, Ben Bredesen.
Interesting. It kind of, how good is Elijah Klein? I thought is he ready? I thought he looked really good last year in training camp. I love his feet. I love his athleticism. I love his tenacity. Bredesen was good last year, though. He was really good. I think he's going to get some looks from other teams.
He might be priced out of their range.
So it just depends on what the money is. And Opeta, I think, is coming back as well, who they signed last year and was kind of slated to start ahead of him.
Yeah.
So I think they're in good situation. I think he's still under contract. So I think they're in good situation.
Opeta's a free agent. Opeta's a free agent.
Is he? Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I would like to.
I like to keep both those guys.
Yeah. And listen, I have tremendous confidence in Carberry and Pacucci, those offensive line coaches, that they're going to make the right decision there. Those guys are really good at what they do. They're really good at what they do, and a huge factor. And the Bucs did a great job in elevating them and getting them more money, keeping them around. I thought that was huge.
Chase Edmonds is pretty much expendable at this point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Thanks for playing, but bye-bye.
Yeah, not coming back. Robert Hainsey? Valuable swing guy. Can be a backup center, and I think of the game that he played and started. I think that was the New Orleans game when they ran for 272. So Jesus, Hainsey's a great teammate. He's a great teammate. He can play tackle, he can play guard, he can play center. I think he's a valuable guy. Now somebody may come after him and give him big money. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't think he's better than Graham Barton, but he's serviceable, and he can play when you need him. And it's great to have backups that are that smart and that good and that tough and a great teammate. And that
he's a valuable piece. So I think they want him back, but I don't know if they can afford him.
Yeah,
they also got Gedicke's got to get a deal too, and that ain't going to be cheap.
I agree with all of that. I think Hainsey's a guy you figure out how to keep him because just for depth, you never know what injuries are going to.
But if somebody comes at him, you got to let him go.
Yeah, you're not going to overpay for him though.
Right.
Royce Newman.
No. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
He
Sue
gone.
Opeta then on. We talked about him. Wideout Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, I think that worked out well. Got him off the couch, but I think we're moving on from that.
Unless Baker says, I want Sterling back.
Yeah. I mean,
then you keep him as your fourth guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, he made some big catches. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but can you go out and draft a guy that can be better and you can start developing, giving him that time? I don't know. We'll see.
Depends on what your draft looks like, right?
Yeah.
Depends on where you're at. And then finally, a guy, I think half of the population hates him, doesn't want him back. Half the population is still interested to see what he can do, and we may never find out what he can do. Kyle Trask.
Sure. Come on back.
I mean, who else are you going to bring in, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been here a while. He knows the offense. He spelled Baker a couple times. They seem to work well together. I think it's worth, yeah. I mean, look, it's the most important position on the field. And if Baker goes down, what do you got? I think he can win. I think he can win you a couple games with the offense that surrounds him, with the offensive line and the receivers. I think he can win you a couple games in a pinch. So I think listen, if somebody wants to come after him, and I don't think there's a lot of suitors for Kyle Trask. Who's lining up to get Kyle Trask? I think he's more valuable to the Bucs than he is to anybody else. And I see them getting a 2-year, $11 million deal, $2 million, $8 million. I mean, 2 years, $8 million, something like that. I just don't. I mean, he's more valuable to us than he is to anybody else. So I kind of see him sticking around.
Kyle Trask seems like the kind of guy to me that's going to end up coaching somewhere sooner than later, right? If he wants to be a assistant quarterback coach or something like that, that's his career is probably going to go the way of Ken Dorsey's. I mean, to bring another Gator into it, and unfortunately we have Ken Dorsey on the Cowboys staff right now, and I have absolutely no idea why. I don't know what Brian Schottenheimer thinks he has any value for, but because he's proven nothing in the coaching ranks, but I don't know. We'll see. So there's your Tampa Bay Buccaneers free agents.
Anything else on the Buccaneer doc? Oh, the Rachaad White story. You wrote something on that. What's going on with that? I just saw a couple of attorneys came out and said he's being extorted.
Yeah.
We're going to fully use the authorities to the fullest extent of the law to go after this person.
The statement from the two Tampa attorneys, and really we have nothing on this, no details at all on this. The statement said, illegal and defamatory threats and demands against Rachaad and his family will be met with zero tolerance. We will continue to exercise all legal avenues to protect Rachaad's rights as a victim of extortion, end quote.
Wow.
So that's literally all we have. We don't have anything about who it was, what it was for. It was all we have is that statement. And until that statement came out, a lot of people didn't even know it was happening. We didn't know it was happening. So more details will come out on this later. Greg Aumann's on it, as he's usually on everything. And we'll be paying attention to Greg's X feed here to get some more details, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird deal. And then it's two Buccaneers, I guess, were allegedly robbed by the Chilean illegal immigrant group that were taking Joe Burrow's money and a bunch of other athletes while they were out playing. That's just crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, they targeted these athletes while they were playing at games because you knew they wouldn't be home, right?
Yeah.
But I would do this. It boggles my mind how these high dollar athletes, and they're like Joe Burrow. These guys aren't, your third string offensive linemen. These are skilled position players who make all the money. And I guess that's who you want to target if you're in a theft ring, right?
Absolutely.
But like, how did you know there's not somebody else home? Like there's not like his girl's home or his mom lives with him or something?
Everybody's at the game. Come on. It's Monday Night Football or whatever. Yeah.
But how do you not have more like security? At your house?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, how do you not have a, when you're at, I think guys will probably do this now when they're at their games. They'll probably have private security at their house, or security system, which they did, and that's how they caught them. They got that, but also, if I got $175,000 in jewelry or $1 million, it's in a safe. Although I did read
somewhere in the closet, right?
Yeah, but I did read they took a safe. Like they actually physically took.
Oh, is that right? Holy crap!
Yeah, which is hard to do, but
And also in Bucs news, former Bucs tight end Rob Gronkowski, who, by the way, I cannot stand Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, how do you not like Gronk?
No. Let me
Gronk
finish.
Is awesome.
I love Gronk on the football field. I hate Rob Gronkowski trying to analyze anything on television.
Really?
Rob Gronkowski is best when he's acting like the dummy, right? Like he's just when he's trying to sound smart, he just makes himself sound dumber. He's not that guy. He needs to stop. He needs to stop.
I love everything Gronk does. I love everything Gronk does. I think he's funny as hell. He's smarter than you think, by the way.
No, I'm not saying he's a dummy. He plays the dumb guy really well. I get it.
I'm a huge Gronk fan.
Is he coming back?
Is he coming back? I mean, look at him, for God's sakes. Could he play? Yeah.
He wants to play only for the Broncos.
Well, he can play. He looks like he can play. Why just the Broncos?
Let's see. He loves Bo Nix. Is the biggest reason. He thinks Bo Nix is the second coming of Tom Brady. Maybe he's right. I don't know. I don't think that, but maybe he's right. And then he's got some relationship with Sean Payton because they worked on Fox together. So he's got that in.
But he lives in Tampa a lot of the time.
I mean, yeah, Denver and Tampa really don't compare.
Would he fit in here? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Would he take away? I mean, what's he going to come back for just 1 year? Do you want that?
Sure. Absolutely. Red zone, blocking. I mean, look, he's no spring chicken and he doesn't run like he used to, but he doesn't need to. That freaking catch radius of his, you could be right next to him. You got no chance.
Think about Baker and Gronk together, right?
Oh, my God. Just the juice that he brings. Hell yeah. What are you talking about, Broncos? What are you doing? Come on, play for your hometown team, Tampa Bay.
So if you bring
he was an ambassador for the Bucs last year. Come on, what are we doing?
Was he the ambassador of fun?
He was. That's what he was. He's the ambassador of fun.
Brett Hull was here for the Stars.
He owns restaurants here. He's got businesses here. Come on, where you go to?
Okay,
Denver?
so Gronk comes into Tampa Bay. Who do you cut? O'Keefe or Devin Culp?
O'Keefe.
I think Devin's got more than Co.
Yeah, I mean, great dude, but
Payne Durham's not going to see the field. Kate Otten will rarely see the field.
O'Keefe sometimes trying to catch a pass on the run is
looks like me trying to catch a pass on the run.
It's just not as athletic as it needs to be.
Me trying to run away from my third wife.
Great dude, hard worker. I mean, plugger, just great guy all around. Just between him and Gronk, come on, we're going Gronk.
Oh,
and I think Devin Culp's got it. I think he's got some real upside. I really do.
Maybe he would benefit from learning behind Gronk for a season.
Who?
Devin Culp.
Sure he would, but just totally different players.
Sure, but
Devin's a smaller, much faster. I really
more
like
of a wide receiver than a tight end.
Yeah, I really like what I saw from him just late in the season, making big catches. And Baker, on big third downs going to him. He had plenty of confidence that he would catch the ball. So I'm very excited to see what Devin Culp can bring this year. I really am. And Kate Otten as well just continues to get better. Boy, and Payne Durham was good too. Payne Durham really got better last year.
Baker and Payne really developed some chemistry last year, I thought.
So if you had that's your four tight end group right there: Gronk, Culp, Payne Durham, and Kate Otten. Holy shizbang. That's a lot of good. That's a lot of good tight ends.
Are Mike Evans and Chris Godwin ever going to see the ball?
Yeah, I think they will.
You don't need Bucky to catch passes anymore.
I think we're fine. But maybe that's why he doesn't want to come here because there's not a whole lot of room. They wouldn't get a whole lot of a look. To be honest with you, yeah.
I'd like to see him come back for sure, though. I love Gronk on the field. I just hate him behind a microphone. I don't need.
All right, fair enough.
Do you want to take our last break and then come back and finish with comments?
Yes, we got comments. One directed at you once again. So we'll do that.
I haven't even looked.
Oh, you'll love this one. Absolutely. I'm a little pissed off about it, though, to be quite honest. I got an issue. Got a big issue with this comment to you. We are brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. We went there for Valentine's Day, the lovely Ashley and I. What a fabulous meal. Oh, it was fantastic. I had the the angel hair pasta with the lump crab meat and the Maine lobster. Oh, it was so good. Oh, and she had the crab cake there. That is the best crab cake I've ever had.
I wanted
Ashley
that.
agreed. Absolutely fantastic. And had a sausage and peppers appetizer that was so good. And then the bread. Oh,
their bread is amazing.
I miss the lasagna. I got to get over there to get the lasagna. I'm missing that. So
when I come out for Valspar, we're hitting Cafe Paradiso.
God, yes. Cafe Paradiso, South McDill, open table. Go get your reservation. Number 3 on the open table. Try the salsicha. Back in 3.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES.
Hey, JP here for my personal concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. Yeah, he's been on the show for the last couple of years, but this is kind of a new deal, and only a limited amount of you can get involved with this personal concierge service. And what I love about it, you can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. And Chris emphasizes a healthy lifestyle to help prevent illness. But when I do need assistance, he's always available. From nutrition guidance to supplement recommendations and workout advice, his expertise is a game changer. Plus, as a medical provider for the National Guard, he stays up to date on the latest health trends and practices, steering clear of the outdated conventional medicine that often relies on unnecessary prescriptions. And the best part, Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself. Take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey guys, February's birthstone is amethyst, a stunning purple gem that symbolizes peace, protection, tranquility, and sincerity. Celebrate her birthday or your 6th and 17th wedding anniversaries with an unforgettable amethyst gift. And of course, for over 40 years, the Gold and Diamond Source has been Tampa Bay's most trusted name in fine jewelry. We only sell natural diamonds. If it's real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't get a fake. The Gold and Diamond Source first-time buyer program will help you learn about the 4 C's, what style, shape, and color works best for you and your unique style. Folks, it's the best customer service. They make it so easy for you, and they're not going to push you into something that you cannot afford. 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Also, you can turn your old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up. So get that old jewelry and bring it on in. You know where, the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Overton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on Fans.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source and Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Chris Lugo is my concierge doctor, and when I got this horrible neurovirus, I called, literally texted him at like 4:30 in the morning, like, dude, help me. And he sent in a script and for a little anti-nausea medicine, went and picked it up. Didn't have to go to urgent care, didn't have to go to emergency room, didn't have to go wait, call my primary care and say, oh, we can fit you in 6 months from now on 8:30 in the morning. Didn't have to do any of that stuff.
That sounds a lot like Canadian free healthcare.
Exactly. No, it sounds like American healthcare, actually. That's where we're at now. And you get to see a nurse practitioner, by the way. You get to wait 6 months to see a nurse practitioner. That's how it works now. Thanks, Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's awesome. That's why I have Chris Lugo, Bay Area Modern Medical Center, as my concierge doctor to oversee all of my medical care and work with my insurance to keep me healthy. So go to BAMMC.com, get a free consultation with Chris, and he'll tell you what it's all about. Cheaper than you think. BAMMC.com. Get your own concierge doctor. Individual medicine. That's where it's at, folks. Personalized medicine.
I need you to send me his email, by the way, because I need to contact him. I need to set something up.
BAMMC.com.
Well, that's the website. I just need his email.
His email's on the website. You go to the website and it says, click here for a free consultation.
I know, but that doesn't go to him.
You want some special recommend?
I want his private email.
Of course I will. Of course I'll give that to you. But seriously, you'll get the same if you go to but I'll do an email introduction for you. So he knows.
Yeah.
But you get the same treatment. That's the way it
I'm
works.
sure. Yeah. I just,
So
me, I need the special treatment.
Here's the comment I'm having a problem with from my wife, the lovely Ashley. So I want to go to the Legion with Tim, the Legion Hall.
What is the Legion Hall?
So there, last year when we went to Valspar, on the way back, we were stopped at this pizza place in, say Dunedin. Was it Dunedin? No, it wasn't Dunedin. Someplace over in Pinellas County that somewhere Portnoy went, said it had great pizza, and the pizza was fantastic. But across the street was there was a dive bar that we went to that was awesome. And then there was a Legion Hall. And Ash was a little tipsy, and she's like, I want to go in the Legion Hall. And I'm like, we're not allowed to go in the Legion Hall. And she's like, walks in there, and all these guys are like, just all over her. And I'm like, can we get the hell out of here? But she says, I want to go to Legion Hall with Tim. Not with me and Tim. Not with me and Tim, just with Tim. Like, what the hell is that, honey?
I mean, she has to know up front that if I take her to Legion Hall, she might be leaving by herself because I'm going to leave with 2 or 3 other chicks.
Right. But evidently I'm out. I'm not invited. Thanks, honey. Appreciate that. Jeez.
That is hilarious. All right, Ashley, let's do it. I'm in.
Oh, we have breaking news. Shovels in the ground just drove by, and Stu was actually out there digging.
There's no way, Hernando.
I think he's dug a hole for himself quite big. Yes, I think he's absolutely right. Stu's been digging that hole for quite some time, and I think it finally swallowed him up. So that was a good one. Thank you for that. He said, I also saw FEMA at the Trop cutting a huge check.
Oh, God. For $100 million.
I just don't see that in the climate that we're in with government spending. I just don't see that one passing muster. Do you? I don't.
No, that's not happening.
Daniel Rivera says MLB is not going to want to drag the saga with the Race Stadium situation too much longer. This will be my timeline based on the info you provided, no later than May 1st, but as early as March 28th. Daniel, I love your optimism. I wish I could be. I mean, that's what should happen. But with Stu, you never know. It's just he's going to make it so hard for everyone. He always does. So I think it might linger on into the season. But I think it does get done before the season is out. But I don't know. It's all up to MLB how much they're going to squeeze Stu, in my opinion. We shall see. Hernando also not a Kyle Trash fan.
That one's too easy.
It is. So I think Kyle has worth. I really do.
He holds a clipboard really well.
Said JP, I thought Ed DeBartolo was still doing time. No, he's not doing time, dog. Rick, Safety Harbor. Yes, that's where it was. Safety Harbor. Yes, there's a nice little dive bar and the Legion bar there. What do you remember the name of that pizza place? It is good. It's really good pizza.
I've seen a couple of Tampa and St. Pete area places on diners, drive-ins, and dives lately that I'm going to make notes of and maybe try to hit while I'm out there because I love that show. They've never steered me wrong with their places here in Dallas and Austin.
Yeah, great show. Oh, awesome. I cannot. I cannot.
By the way, Guy Fieri, friend of the show, by the way.
Really? Well, when's he coming on, dog? Book a guest. Let's go.
Man, he is really busy. Between him and Matthew McConaughey, man, I ain't got no time for anybody.
Come on. Step up, producer. Let's go.
Yeah, they're best friends, right? They're like best buddies, which is really cool. And then they're best buddies with another friend of me and Gerb's here in Dallas. They went to school together. So.
Matthew McConaughey emails me 6 times a day. I would think he would come on the show. Literally 6 times a day I get an email from him.
I told him he couldn't come on the show till he shaved.
That's
scruffy.
That's what I get for signing up for his life coaching. That's
a good idea. I know him too well.
His book was awesome. Have you read Green Light?
Yes.
Really good. Really good book. Michael LaRue, I would think Godwin has a history of leg injuries, would like to play on grass, not that stuff they play in Dallas. Good point.
I mean, field, AT&T Stadium, as far as fake stuff goes, it's the best. It's got the little rubber pellets. How can you tell the difference?
I do not like that stuff. He says, James says the Pats will overpay big time to get Godwin. My concern is that he will not be $5 million over 3-year difference. Still, he says still says he stays, but if Bucs make a disrespectful offer, bets are off.
I don't think they'll do that.
I don't think they'll do that. I do not think they will do that.
And if the money's close, I bet you he stays in Tampa. Why would he want to play in freaking Gillette Stadium 8 times a year?
Christopher Cole says, I said this last year that Godwin's going where Coen goes, but I hope not. I don't think he has it. I think he has a much better
now, if any team's going to overpay for Godwin
than Coen,
if anybody's going to overpay for him, it might be the Jags.
So speaking of the Jags,
oh no,
their GM broke the internet yesterday. James,
because he's 12 years old.
James Gladstone. Look at this guy. Here, let me play this. Look at this guy. This went viral.
I don't think we've seen the best of Trevor. I'm really excited for Liam to get a chance to work with him, support him, and really bring the tools that he has in his arsenal to life. And I think it starts by the protection, right? Making sure that he feels like he's got as much time to work with as possible, and also that he's comfortable with the pass catchers. And so I think through that lens, he's going to feel that change in both the operation schematically and then the personnel that we invited in the building.
What in the world are we doing? What is happening in Jacksonville?
Hold on. Just leave it up there. Okay, first, has he shaved? Has he ever shaved? Has he ever shaved?
No,
in his
life? Does he still live with his mom?
What do you call the jacket? There's a name.
Did he just go to his 8th grade class reunion a couple of years ago? What is happening right now? I got kids older than that.
I got underwear older than that. And definitely more stained. Oh my God. Now put him next to Liam going doom.
Oh my God. Did he do the Duval thing, whatever it was? Oh my God, it was so gay.
Put him on a stage next to Liam without a hat, by the way. And
That's your leadership.
And Shad Khan with the mustache and just go, this is your Jacksonville Jaguars brain trust. Who wouldn't be confident?
God.
Who would? And the game is football. National Football League. This is your brain trust. This is your wow. Now look,
dude,
he's smart. He evidently has a good track record. Like this, I read a little bit about it. Did well with the Rams draft.
Graduate high school? Like last year.
I don't know how old he is, but he literally looks 21 years old. He looks 21 years old. And
maybe not even that.
Yeah, the thread on that is just hilarious. And the memes that people put up there were just fantastic. Yeah. So.
JP, what are we doing in the NFL right now?
Well, there's a lot of
talent.
The DEI hire, evidently. It's maybe some nepotism involved. I don't know, but that's just I'm like, that can't really be. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right.
Okay,
anything else?
I have a picture here for you that I'm uploading right now that we have to put up on the screen for everybody because this just might make our day. If you are looking for something to laugh at, I will. You know what? And I'm even going to put this out on X for everybody to download. As I'm uploading it right now, you're listening to live coverage of Tim.
In the meantime, I'll put up this Ashley trying to save face. You're always invited. Goes without saying, LOL. Well, you don't put it in a message on my show like you put it. Make it right. Leave me out.
She's just going to text you privately. You're always invited. I just don't want everybody to know.
Ridiculous.
All right, everybody save this picture because we're going to need it to laugh at here this season. There is your brain trust for the Jacksonville Jaguars for the next, 5 years.
Oh my God. Look at that. This is why Liam always wears a hat and his sweater vest, because that is can you put it side by side with Step Brothers?
Yeah, that'll take me some time, but I can do
the
that.
Step Brothers media, that picture of the poster.
I will do that, and I'll tweet it out because that's gonna take me a minute. But how great is that?
Oh my God!
What are we doing here in the NFL, man?
Oh, it was a great way to end the show right there. Oh
God!
Hernando says it makes Sean McVay look 100. That's maybe why he had him around, so he wasn't the youngest looking guy on the coaching staff. We'll have to get into this tomorrow. The Bucs got a D+ grade for ownership in the latest NFLPA report card. I don't know what's going on with
cards. Are stupid.
They're stupid. I don't get that. I mean, I hear nothing but the players lauding the Glazers all the time for all the stuff that they do. I don't understand that. That's a weird deal.
Comes from.
I
don't know how Jerry Jones keeps getting A's. To be honest with you. By the way, we had such a great show today, JP. It's time.
There you go, partner. Yeah.
In honor of today's show, and in honor of Liam Coen and Babyface, who's the new GM in Jacksonville.
That makes me want to hurl. God, if I did that right now, it would be podcast history.
It would go viral. We could make it go viral. By the way, everybody tune in tonight at FanStream Sports for the Colby 7 IndyCar Tim Show.
Okay, cool. What time?
We've been gone a couple of weeks because of schedule conflicts and stuff, but we're bringing it back tonight. We're going to get into a lot of combine talk. And I should have a new Tampa Bay Buccaneers Daily Blitz coming out over on the JP channel for all you guys this afternoon.
What about the From the Rough podcast? We doing that tonight?
From the Rough podcast at 5 o'clock, a little bit later on wherever you get your podcasts. So right. Johnny will have his picks for you. They'll be ready by then. He didn't get them to me in time today.
Okay, good.
So I think what we're going to start doing is we're going to start because Johnny can't do Wednesdays. It's really tough for him to do Wednesdays because of his schedule at the retreat at the facility where he works. But I want to start having him on regularly on Tuesdays because he can at least preview the tournament. He won't have picks, but he can preview the tournament on Wednesdays or on Tuesdays and maybe talk about the tournament, the weekend prior.
Yeah, let's do that.
But then he will get me his picks on Wednesday for me to
give
go
over
to the people, and we can go over them. So that's what we'll start doing.
Beautiful. That works for me.
Yep.
All right. That'll do it for us today. It was just me and Tim, so screw all the guests. Yeah. They were terrible.
We don't need anybody else.
Need anybody.
I mean, Ashley was kind of a guest.
Yeah, she was. Thank you guys for jumping in. Great texts, comments today. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like this podcast if you're watching it right now. Ching, ching, ching.
Yep.
Like that thing. And also subscribe to all our social media. Great stuff. We will be back tomorrow to preview the Bolts and the Calgary Flames and much more on the Combine as well. Have a great day, everybody.